Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to It Came Out the Refrigerator. I am your narrator, Awaken 314. Hope I'm wishing you the bright and beautiful day that always should come to you. We're going to continue our emotional armor series today. And today I have a short story for you that was in the Washington Post by a Isobel Rosenthal. I will link to the description below so you can read the story for yourself because I'm going to paraphrase parts of it so it doesn't take too long. Today's snack is sweet cinnamon rolls, a cinnamon rolls pyramid. I think it's kind of delicious. So, other than that, with that being said, let's get started. A close doctor friend told me the best piece of advice she could ever give me for my internship was to externalize. While training to be a psychiatrist, my program made me rotate other specialties in other fields, such as emergency room medicine and other things, so I could take care of and get overall aspects. As I took her advice during the months of grueling night shifts in the emergency room, I imagined pulling a layer of slinky silver armor over my thin blue scrubs. I hoped this to believe to make my psychological armor would protect me from certain constant noise. The stressed out staff members, the frustrated patients and their family members, and even the bone grinding effects of exhaustion. I could tune out everyone and everything except the patients right in front of me and my responsibility over their basic health and survival. And when I arrived home in the early morning and stripped off my scrubs and clogs in my apartment, I assumed my armor came off with them. 3 weeks into my time in the ER, the son of a woman I've been tending to asked whether I could give him a call when his mother got into her transportation, as he had to leave the hospital. It was the busiest night, and I was managing other critical ill patients, and I was scared of making fatal mistakes. I responded quickly, "It might be late. Does your mother have a cell phone? Remind her to give you a call." I could have quickly written down his number or made a different decision at that moment, but I didn't. I wish I could say I ran into him after he left or I got his number from his mother so that I could call him in the morning, but I didn't. My psychological armor was doing its job, but it was getting in the way of a much simpler piece of advice from a different mentor: be kind. Then I had a bad moment. This moment kept nagging at me. I thought more about my own family members who have been patients themselves and remembered stories of them asking for help in hospitals. Stories of doctors who had brusquely ignored simple requests like where to find the cafeteria or bathroom. These doctors had been too consumed by their duties and their own stresses to extend a small, critical kindness. Later that night, when I finally got home, I cracked off the armor and I cried. I cried because I now related to those doctors who failed to help my own family members. When I refused to call the son of the woman I treated in the ER, it felt like too much. Another task I couldn't fit into my brain. I wanted to think that those doctors like me were having bad moments, moments of emotional intelligence, also in the burnout. But the lack of a simple kindness wasn't the real me. It became a buzzword, burnout. It's a term that any med student sees splashed across slides, training modules, and news reports. A term that can mean many different things: depression, physician suicide, and an inability to do one's job well. A dissipation of the meaning from one's work, and I saw it in another form: a loss of kindness. But I also had time to recognize small acts of humanity. A nurse who runs to get a patient a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from across the building. Those are the patient's favorites. Attending doctor ordering food for their teams in the middle of the night. Family members holding each other. I'm now beginning to understand the delicate balance that my doctor friend's advice requires. A balance that every medical student and doctor in the country has to maintain to protect yourself, but not to cover yourself in armor so thick and so heavy that you lose yourself inside of it. This was a story by Isobel Rosenthal, and is about what we're talking about this week of covering yourself in armor to the point to where you lose sight of certain things, but it always protects you, right? I'm not saying that this person was right or wrong. They made their own choices and they learned to adjust over time to where they let certain things in and they kept other things out. And it doesn't mean you're not kind to people. It doesn't mean you're mean to people. It doesn't mean anything other than you made certain choices and decisions and now you may have to adjust. We all go through things and we all do things to protect ourselves. It doesn't mean we're wrong. So whatever armor you got on, whatever reason for having that armor on. The reason for reading the story is not to tell you to not have your armor on. The reason for reading the story is saying sometimes it's necessary. So, with that being said, please be safe. Please be blessed. And as always, all are welcome here. Thank you.